Well, here for that Monday morning, actually Tuesday morning this week, Crow video. Broncos lose to the Titans last night in a game where, let's be honest, both teams took turns pissing down their leg all night. Ray Finkel for the Titans almost gives the Broncos the game by missing a kick, getting a kick, block, missing another kick, then missing an extra point. And thank God for you guys that he made that kick at the end. Had to give him a chip shot to do it. Titans fans, congratulations. I mean, you beat an undisciplined young team, a team full of guys that aren't really pros, right? I mean, we're not pros. We have college kids that are dressed in pro uniforms that haven't learned how to play the pro game. I thought the Broncos and Titans had a pretty good battle in the first half. I really felt that the Broncos outplayed the Titans in the first half. But, let's go to the score, and it really didn't say much about who won the first half. And towards the end of the game, Derrick Henry just started chopping up some yards. I thought pretty much for the night we did a good job on Derrick Henry. But in the end, right there in those last, when they really needed it, Derrick Henry turned it on and carried his team to victory. And that's what great players do, and he's certainly one of the best handful of backs in the NFL. I'm not trying to take anything away from the Titans, but I've noticed a lot of comments from fans that, we should have won by way more if our kicker didn't choke, but they conveniently forget to mention that Drew Lock missed two wide open receivers on the same play for uncontested catches for a touchdown, and he also missed a wide open Deshaun Hamilton, who was two steps behind your defensive back, for what would have inevitably been the game winner. So this really was not so much the Titans beating the Broncos, it was more the Broncos just tripping over themselves all night. I mean, let's look at just a bunch of different things that happened in this game. I mean, first of all, we lose a lot of starters in this game. Talking about A.J. Boye, and we already came into the game without Sutton and Miller, and then also lose Phillip Lindsay. So when you lose a lot of your best players, we got a lot of rookies on that field that don't have any experience, don't have any preseason. And the Titans, let's be honest, they're a playoff team, right? They were one of the Final Four teams last year. So for us to stay in the game with them, honestly, going in this game, I thought we had a decent shot to win the game, but I really deep down didn't think we'd probably win this game because the Titans are a much more polished team than the Denver Broncos, and they found a way to win last night even when their team was playing bad, and that's what good teams do. We don't get in on the end zone. I like the fourth down call. I like the shovel pass. Titans just sniffed it out and made a great play and stuffed us right there on the goal line. And then, of course, the two Drew Lock passes that he missed, Vic Fangio mismanaging the clock in the last minute and a half of the game. I mean, had we had another 30, 35, maybe even 40 seconds on that clock at the end of the game, I like our chances with a strong leg, accurate kicker in Brandon McManus. I think we have a chance to go down and win that game with the kick. Thankfully, Ray Finkel kept giving us chances to stay in that game, but I felt like we kept giving the Titans chances to stay in the game as well. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how you win in the NBA or in the NFL, whether it's by a blowout, by 1 point, or by forfeit, to tell you the truth. I mean, a win is a win, and that was a good win for the Titans and a horrible way for the Broncos to start out in the dumpster of the AFC West going into this new season. Now, I'm not down on the Broncos. I mean, definitely Jerry Jeudy showed some things last night. He flashed, right? I mean, you could see why he's a special type athlete, breaking ankles when he did catch the ball and had it in his hands. But the fact of the matter is he dropped two passes that were big first down drive extenders, and that you can look at that as like a turnover, because not making those plays, giving the ball back to a good football team, eventually you're going to get beat. The penalty on Alexander Johnson, which extended a drive for them, and just bad penalties, drop passes, bad clock management, and a quarterback that didn't make the routine plays. I mean, really routine plays you got to make in the NFL to win in the NFL, causes the Broncos to drop the home opener. And and it's not something that we do very often. The Broncos, as they said last night on the broadcast, have the best record all time of all teams in the NFL of home openers. And this is one for the L column, and we're certainly holding this L heavy this morning. Shout out to all of the Titans fans. Y'all haven't beat us here in Denver in over 3 decades, all the way back to, I think, Warren Moon, or maybe even before that. And so it was good for you guys to come in here and get a win. And I just really disappointed in the effort, really, of both teams. I mean, I was expecting much more of a football game on both sides than what we actually got. And I guess you could chalk that. I mean, look, ESPN was terrible too. I mean, we got the COVID coverage. They weren't showing any replays in the game. We don't see the replay of a couple of big penalties, especially the one on Alexander Johnson where he gets the personal foul away from the play. We don't get to see a replay of that. I think one of the catches or non-catches that were made, we didn't get to see a replay. So there's a lot of things going wrong last night in that broadcast for ESPN, and certainly a lot more going wrong for the Broncos in the game and also on their sideline. And that's why the Titans beat us. I don't felt like we got slapped around. We had just as good a chance to beat them as they did to beat us. But at the end of the day, the Titans made more plays, and that's why they came out champions. And congratulations to the Titans. The Titans fans, Mike Vrabel, their whole staff, and all the players. Hope you guys have a good rest of the season, and I'm sure you're going to be a playoff team when it's all said and done there in the end. This is the OG Bronc Nuts from the 719 West. Checking up out of here for week 1, holding the L, 0-1. Broncos in the trash bin of the AFC West once again. I'm out. See you tomorrow, suckers.